Good morning, it is Tuesday. I know I said that I would update you on Monday, but I forgot. So I'm going to try really hard this week to keep you up to date with everything every day. I am pretty much just waking up. It's about 7:30, so this is sort of a lie-in for me, but I felt like my throat was getting better yesterday, and I know that it's worse when I wake up, but I've ended up with quite a bit of a crackly chest, but I'm hoping that's just the antibiotics working and getting rid of whatever it needs to. So I had every intention of trying to film today, which I hope I can do still, but I'm going to have to see how my throat gets on. But in other news, I was reading last night and I haven't quite finished it yet, which I realised I probably should have, but I got to page 254 of The Dark and Deepest Red. I feel like the action is starting to kick in a bit more now, and I feel that if it goes a certain way, there is a chance that I could get quite upset, but then at the same time I don't feel like it's going to get there, because obviously you need a happy ending in a story. I also can't remember how the actual film finishes, so I can't remember what I should expect. I can't remember. I'm not hating it, I'm just like it's not a terrible book. However, the main stuff has started to happen when there is now only 40 pages left, and I'm a little bit baffled by the fact that there is only 40 pages left and now it's all decided to kick off. Yesterday I decided, because my anxiety's been quite high lately, I tend to get quite irritated very quickly with clutter and mess. So I decided that I was going to try and rectify that, and yesterday thought to myself that I would choose one room of the house each day to just go in and clean and blitz, and yeah, hopefully that'll get my anxiety back on track. So while I did that, I was cleaning the bathroom yesterday, and while I did that, I mean, the bathroom gets cleaned anyway, but it's more the things that you sometimes neglect, so like the skirting boards and things like that. I'm sure you don't need to know that. But I had the audio book for Clockwork Prince playing while I was doing it, and I have really jumped. I did my editing yesterday morning and listened to it. I did the cleaning and listened to it. So I have pretty much jumped really far ahead, and I am now on chapter 13, which puts me at 306. So I am hoping to get a little bit more further into that today. I haven't read any more of Crescent City, not because I haven't wanted to, I think I've been concentrating on getting Dark and Deepest Red finished. I could have listened to Crescent City while I was cleaning, but I am still trying to stick to the prompt of it being mainly read whilst dark. So yeah, I think I'm gonna also be trying some new things out with editing the vlogs. I had a bit of an idea while I was watching BookTube, and I just think that maybe I found a way. Normally I struggle with adding music and it seems to take forever. The actual editing process and putting music towards it and putting it on YouTube seemed to take forever, and obviously I'm not a YouTube expert, I'm not a YouTube veteran, so I'm still learning, and I think I found a possible way of adding more than one layer of music onto it without having to spend a fortune on editing software. My other little update is my other little update is that I had the email yesterday from Illumicrate to say that the reprints of Nevernight and God's Grave have actually been dispatched. For those of you who don't know, Illumicrate did signed editions of Nevernight and God's Grave, and I think Dark Dawn with the black sprayed edges, and yeah, basically they ended up sort of bringing them back out again. I don't know why, because yeah, Dark Dawn had already come out in hardcover, so I'm not 100% sure why. But anyway, they did reprints, and that was just before Christmas. And I had actually set the money to one side and I said I was going to get them. You could only get them as a pair, you couldn't get them separately. So I'd put the money to one side, and then one of the family members had said, well, I'll buy them for you for Christmas. So I was like, okay. And I had an alarm set for when they were going live, and I pretty much was on my phone ready to click that order button. I'd already got them in the basket. I was getting ready to put them in the order, put my order through. And the entire thing just froze, like the entire website froze. And I was really panicking that I wasn't going to be able to get my order through and I wasn't going to be able to get them. Because I do actually own, thanks to Claire, because she actually spotted it in Waterstones and it was the final one, the signed Dark Dawn edition with sprayed edges. So she spotted that in Waterstones, and yeah, it panicked me that I was just going to have that one and then I wasn't going to have the matching reprints. So I got my order through, and they were supposed to be shipped at the beginning of March, and then something happened, something to do with it wasn't the quality that they were hoping for or expecting, and yeah, they sent them back off and were waiting to receive them again in the quality that they wanted. And then they went quiet, like nobody knew what was happening, nothing had been said, and then somebody had mentioned at the end of the week, end of last week, that they'd got them back and they were looking to ship on Monday. And I was like, oh, well, I haven't had any emails or anything. So I looked on their Instagram and it was up there saying that they were looking to ship on Monday. And then I had the email yesterday to say that it's been dispatched, and we have a Royal Mail tracking I'm sorry, I'm holding the camera, so occasionally when I lean forward or I do anything apparently, it will sort of flick up. We do have a tracking number, so I'm just wondering whether, because it's been sent by Royal Mail, I'm wondering whether they're going to do next day delivery. So if I copy my tracking number, I might be able to find out when it's coming. Royal Mail tracked 48 hours. So at the moment it says last night at 8:19 it was received at Romford MC. I don't know where Romford is, but I'm gonna guess that it will be here tomorrow. But then I don't know whether the 48 hours is from when the actual like place gets it. I don't know how it works, but hopefully either tomorrow or Thursday I should have them. But yeah, exciting. I have to make a cake this week because it is my little boy's birthday this week. It's his first birthday and I am going to attempt to make a dairy-free cake. I say attempt, it's more going to be a case of I'm going to make a dairy-free cake and attempt to make it look a little bit special. I've been making, I've made a couple of dairy-free cakes over the last couple of weeks just to practice. And yeah, so I'm hoping that I can make it a bit more special for him, because obviously people having birthdays in isolation is a bit sucky. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself though, because I know it's his first birthday and he's not going to remember it. But I think I am going to get up, and nobody else is up at the moment, so I feel weird. Nobody else is up. I feel like I should just stay quiet and stay away from everyone without waking them up. But yeah, this is unusual for me, but I've not been sleeping properly because of my chest. But it is lovely and sunny out. I can already tell. I haven't opened my curtains yet because I didn't want to be blasting the sun into the camera. But yes, so a lovely long intro, but welcome to the vlog, and I will check in with you probably later on this evening when I have more than likely listened to some more audio of one of my books. Okay, so I decided after a bit of procrastinating that I would sit and finish Dark and Deep as Red while everybody else was still asleep. I've done that, and I feel like how they were tying things together at the end has left me more confused than when I was originally. I think had it have been his parents telling the story, then maybe it would have made a bit more sense. Yeah, I don't know. It all seems a bit strange. Like, I feel like the final sentence was supposed to hit harder than it did, and maybe was supposed to be a bit more of a conclusion to the story than it was. There were also parts of it where I wasn't 100% sure what had actually just happened, so there was a part where it was insinuating that two of the main characters were frolicking. It was just strange. There was the insinuation, but there was nothing confirmed, and then there was a slight comment, and again nothing confirmed. And whilst with certain things you don't need it to be confirmed, it seemed quite detrimental to the story to know whether this had happened or not. And yeah, so I don't know how I feel about this at the moment. I feel like it's going to be a 3-star, maybe. But I thought that I would try and do it through core pile whilst I am talking to you. So we are going to go for characters. I feel like the characters, I don't feel like we got to know Emile and Rosalie as well as I'd have liked to, but we definitely got to know Lala and Tante and Alifair. I'm gonna go with a 7 for that. Atmosphere, I want to say a 6. Writing style, I personally, again, see, I hate doing this because I hate feeling like I'm slating somebody's work that's come from the heart, but writing style was not for me. The backwards and forwards needed to be a bit clearer, so unfortunately on that one I am going to go for a 3. Plot, again, was a little all over the place, but still sort of, you could sort of keep it going. I'm going to go for 5. Intrigue, I'd say a 7 because I did continue to read to find out what was going to happen and how things were going to tie up at the end. Logic, again, very confused towards the end. I'm going to go with a 5. Enjoyment, unfortunately, again, it's probably going to be a 5. It was sort of just read it to get it over and done with. Okay, so I did run it through core pile and it came to a 3-star as I had expected. The actual rating was definitely on track with how I felt, which is becoming quite a reoccurring theme at the moment. I am sort of putting my gut instinct down and then I'm running it through a core pile and they seem to be matching up pretty well. It was a middle 3 stars, so not a low 3 stars. It came to 5.4, which sits just in the middle. But yeah, quite disappointed with it because I had hoped that it was going to be the book to stop me from going in a slump, and I thought it was going to be really exciting. I thought it was going to be really fun, give me all the warm cozy feel that I've been hoping for, and it just didn't. I do feel like I need to read something a bit more upbeat, so I might try and see if I can fit in Giant Days and hopefully I'll enjoy that. If not, I definitely think I'm going to have to try and get Harry Potter in because I can't, with the TBR that I have, I can't afford to slump. As it is, I'd already gone off my TBR with Dark and Deepest Red. But for now, I think like I said, I'll try Giant Days, see how I get on. I'm also going to try and get a bit more of a way into Shadowhunters Clockwork Prince. See if I can get into the next chunk. I've got 2 chapters left to get into my next section, and then I'm back on track. But yeah, so that's a bit disappointing. But you know, it happens, and just one of those things. So yeah, Dark and Deepest Red is a 3 stars from me.
Hi guys, so I'm not 100% sure what I updated you on last, but I think I told you that I finished Dark and Deepest Red. I am on chapter 36 for Crescent City, and I know I'm a bit further ahead. I'm on chapter 20 with Clockwork Prince, so that puts me nicely at, where does it put me? I seem to have skipped it. That puts me nicely at 554. So I haven't really got that much left. I really want to try and continue on to Clockwork Princess, but I know that I've still got to finish Crescent City, still got Witch Sign to read, and I've got Elantris to read, so they're quite big books. And I've also got How to Tell If Your Cat is Plotting to Kill You. That should take me one night to read. But Elantris and Witch Sign are obviously going to be pretty much a concentrated week's worth, and obviously finishing Crescent City is going to be quite a mean feat. However, I've realised that I've had some book mail that I haven't informed you about, so I thought I would get into that and just sort of update you on that. Now, the reason that these are opened is because some of the lovely bookstagrammers that I speak to have sent a couple of presents for my son. So as things have been coming, I've just sort of been opening them, especially when it comes from Amazon, because obviously this is pretty much the only place people are being able to order stuff and get it either next day or within the next few days. So my first delivery a couple of days ago was actually the last Namasara, which I had won in an auction, I think it was, on eBay, and I got it for, I think it was like 99p. It said very good condition. I personally would say that this is pretty new. Apart from the slight knock at the top, I'd say this is new, and yeah, the spine isn't broken. I am not 100% sure. I know that it's about a dragon slayer, which dragons just seal the deal for me. So I'm sort of hoping that dragons are going to play quite a big part in this. I'm thinking that because she's a dragon slayer, that there would be a major part in it. I'm hoping, but we'll have to wait and see. I also got, now I was going to wait a little while and see whether I could get a bit of an auction with eBay for these particular books, and then I spoke to Steph at splatter.books. I will link her in the description box, as with everybody else mentioned. And I ended up, again, these are pre-owned because on Amazon they give you the option of going through new or used, and these are pre-owned. This one was like new. I think it was something like £2.50, if that. But it is All the Wandering Light, and this is the second book in, I don't know what the yeah, I don't know what the set is called, but Even the Darkest Stars is the first one, which I actually have coming, but for whatever reason, I think it's because it's coming from a different place, that is also taking a while to get here. That I think is in very good condition, but this one was in, it was either very good condition or like new. Again, it's literally just the top of the dust jacket and a little bit of the, I don't know if you can see properly, but just the top's a little bit flimsy and slightly torn. But I'm not too fussy about that. I'm quite pleased with how it's come. I think it's a beautiful cover. And yeah, I first heard about Even the Darkest Stars when I was watching Jade's channel, and it's just something that didn't really pique my interest to start with, but then when I read into it, I was like, okay, maybe it will. And then obviously knowing that I could get them for decent prices, I decided to get the set. So yeah. Then gifted gifted, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. So this is Claire again, and she sent me a set of 3 books, which is crazy. But I have Night of the Dragon, so that finishes my trilogy. So we have Shadow of the Fox, Soul of the Sword and Night of the Dragon, and I'm looking to start reading those ASAP because I am reviewing this one with NetGalley. I also have Garden of Ravens. Now, I wasn't 100% sure as to how much I was going to enjoy this. I saw Garden of Ravens and thought, oh, this is intriguing. Saw that it was poems, and I do like to read occasional poems. This is just a nice short book that you can maybe pick up and just search for a poem and sit and read it. But what got me when I actually flicked through the contents is just at the end of the contents, this book is actually dedicated to overthinkers. And I genuinely feel like if there was ever a dedication that spoke to me, it would be that. Because I am one of the worst for overthinking, and yeah, it hit me. I also have Spark, which is book 2 in the Ink trilogy, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure whether there was going to be any more after. I think the next one is Scar. So there's Ink, Spark and Scar. So this is following on from Ink, where I can't remember her name. It's been so long since I've read Ink. I remember the basis of the plot being that you wore your memories and your achievements on your body as tattoos, and then when you died, your skin was, there's a special word for it, as opposed to just your skin was cut off your body. There is a special word for it and I can't remember what it is, but they take the skin off your body and they somehow preserve it and bind it and make it into a book, and that is your book of your life. And just the plot itself was really intriguing to start with, and everything in that book hit me really hard. There was a lot of finding yourself in that book, and I think I read it at a time where I really needed to hear some of the messages in that book, and it was very emotional to read. which is why I was a bit worried about picking up Spark and Scar, because one, I didn't want to possibly ruin ink and the experience that I had with that, and also I wasn't sure whether I was ready to reach the emotional level again. Yeah, so then I had a book today, which I asked Claire. Claire hasn't sent this to me. I have asked in the group chat. Nobody has sent this to me. I don't know who sent this. There was no note whatsoever. There was no note. I have an idea, so I am going to have a reach out on Twitter. But I have The Inheritance by Robin Hobb. This is apparently an anthology of tales from the Six Duchies and beyond. So this is, I'm assuming this is sort of in line with Assassin's Apprentice and some stories from that world. So I'm quite excited to get into that. I think I might have to have a look to see when to read it, so that I don't spoil things for myself in case I read something that's happened in future series. Then, yeah, give me a second. So I also had a late delivery. Claire did tell me that it was coming, and I couldn't be more grateful. She has definitely picked up on the fact that I love mermaids. So we have The Sea Witch. I said I really wanted to read something involving mermaids, and I genuinely am just so intrigued by this. I really need something to do with the sea that is good. After Monstrous Heart and Surface Breaks, I have not had a good record, and it is killing me. I also very, very excitedly received my reprints of Nevernight and God's Grave today. They came from a Loom Crate, so I do still have them in the pouch. I have taken them out to have a look at them. They are still in the lovely Loom Crate pouches. I absolutely adore these. But what I think I'm going to do with those is, when I get a chance, I'm going to get my Dark Dawn and put them out on the bed, and then I'll record sort of just going through them. You've got a rough idea of what they are. They've got black sprayed edges, they're the hardbacks, and they're signed. But yeah, I was just really excited. I love the Loom Crate pouches. It's brilliant. But I do have a couple of things to do now, so I think that'll be it for me updating you. Like I said, I will try and do a bit more of a show with the actual Nevernight, God's Grave and Dark Dawn books, and yeah, try and update you at a later point. Hi guys, so it is Friday. I don't think I did any updating yesterday. It's my son's birthday, so I just thought I would give it a bit of a miss and spend the day doing whatever with him. So my update really isn't a lot. I'm trying to think of what I last told you. I think I may not have told you that I actually finished Clockwork Prince. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah, my dislike of Will has immediately evaporated. And I really want to try to prioritise Clockwork Princess, because I really want to get through that. I want to know what's going on now. I am also flying through Crescent City, it seems. I'm on page 489 and on chapter 53. I am starting to resign myself to the fact I may not be able to finish all of the 12 prompts. I don't think I'm going to get through Elantris. I have decided that I am still going to try and pick up Witch Sign. I have actually also just realised, and I don't know how it has slipped my mind, but I have a white cover and it has beaks on. I don't know whether I might be able to double up. I don't think you're supposed to, but I might just have to do that, because I literally, even if it's just for like my personal sort of completionist bit, I need to get it in my head. I was going to see whether I could get Fence to read through Scribd, but we'll see how I get on. I definitely am going to read this though, because I've been waiting to read this for ages. It's been sat on my shelf, and this was a buy middle of last year, and I keep putting it off, and I really want to get to it. So I don't think I have much else to actually update you on reading wise, because yeah, I just, other than I am really enjoying Crescent City, I knew that I enjoy Sarah J Maas's writing style. But yeah, going to an adult fiction was obviously something different, so yeah, exciting. Hi guys, so I don't really remember when I last updated you. I don't think I did anything yesterday because I read loads. We went for a car ride just to give the car a bit of a run again. And I know that I was going to take my camera, but I just decided to just enjoy being sort of out. But I started Den Patrick's Witch Sign yesterday morning, and I started it sort of on audiobook, and for whatever reason I have literally just gone straight through. Like, this is probably the quickest I've ever gone through a book, because I am, it's alright because I'm listening to it on Audible. No, I'm not, I'm listening to it on Scribd. I have only just put the bookmarking for the chapter. But yeah, so I am already on chapter 38, which puts me at page 368. So I have literally read a huge chunk. So I have read this much, and I have this much left. So I feel like I have made massive headway in that, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I've already recommended it to 2 people, because it's given me Assassin's Apprentice vibes to a certain extent, but then they involve dragons, and you know, your girl loves dragons, so yeah, that was pretty much a big seller for me. However, that does mean that because I've done nothing but listen to Witch Sign all day yesterday, and then obviously finished off Clockwork Prince, I haven't actually picked up Crescent City for a couple of days, so we'll have to get back into that, because I have Crescent City to finish, and I do have Elantris for my white cover, but I don't think that's going to happen. I did try to pick up Fence on Scribd, and the first time I opened it up, because I'd saved it, I downloaded it and saved it, the first time I picked it up, all the speech bubbles were empty. Like, it's literally happening now. And then they appear, and then they disappear. So, yeah, I don't know if you can see, but they're sort of there 1 minute and then they're not. And that's sort of how it goes. So then if I close Scribd again, I'm waiting for this to work now. Because yesterday when I closed Scribd and opened it up again and then I opened Fence, all the speech bubbles were filled up, and then that was happening. Like, literally the page was just disappearing. Like, I could scroll through and the page just disappears. So I'm not 100% sure what is wrong with that. So it doesn't really work. So now I'm sort of questioning, what do I do for a white cover, because whilst this covers white cover and an animal with a beak, like I said, I was considering cheating a little bit and doubling up on the prompts, but I don't really think I have anything short enough to get through in 4 days. And we're not even really going to include today because I still actually need to finish Witch Sign and make a bit more headway with Crescent City. So, I mean, I do have a few white books that are shorter than Elantris, but I don't think it's anything that I'm going to get through in 4 days. Although saying that, I didn't think I was going to get through Witch Sign in 4 days. And I'm probably going to finish that today, so it will be 2 days that I have read Witch Sign in. So I might have to rejig things. Same as I have decided that I'm going to take another look at my Believeathon TBR, because I think I'm going to try and rejig it a little bit so that I can try and get some of the middle grades that I've got on NetGalley, because I really want to get into reviewing the books that I've got on NetGalley so that I can build up a bit more of a profile with them and hopefully start to be accepted for other arcs that are from bigger publishers. So that it's just things like I requested Renee Adier's The Damned, which is the sequel to The Beautiful, which I haven't read The Beautiful yet, but I thought I would try and request the e-arc of The Damned. But with all rights, I have only done 2 reviews because I'm new to NetGalley, so I've only done 2 reviews and it basically said that I needed to have done a bit more to be accepted. So I really want to try and concentrate on getting those done. And then I also, because I know that I've got Night of the Dragon to review, I also really want to read Shadow of the Fox and Soul of the Sword, and then obviously Night of the Dragon to review it. So I'm definitely going to have to try and work out my TBR for May and try and do it in the smartest way possible. I also have some Kindle books which will make things nice and easy. So I have to try and sit down and work that out, and then at some point fill my May TBR. But yeah, so it's all systems go. Can't believe there's only 4 days left of April and then we are in the 5th month of the year, and already it seems to be running away. So yes, I'm going to continue to listen to Witch Sign and probably fill in my bullet journal a little bit. But I will catch up with you when I have a bit more to update you on. guys, I'm really sorry. It is now Wednesday. I decided last minute to extend this vlog so that it now will end on the 30th of April, so that will be April kind of tied up nicely. It will also be the end of the O.W.L.s, which I'm quite sad about. So on Sunday I had started Which Sign and pretty much finished it by the end of Monday. I absolutely adored the audiobook. I adored just the entire book itself. It was just it was incredible. I feel like I still stand by the fact that it gives me very much Assassin's Apprentice vibes, just based on the main character being an underdog, sort of. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. But obviously the idea of dragons came into play, and that really sold it for me. But then I also like the fact that it didn't solely concentrate on the dragons, because I think sometimes if you bring mythical creatures in and you concentrate just on the mythical creatures, you can lose sight of what the book's actually about. And yeah, I don't think it did that. Really enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to reading the second one. Now, I know that I was contemplating doubling up on the prompts, but I can't bring myself to do it. I just can't. And then I did obviously show you what happened with Fence. It is still doing it. I don't know what is wrong with Scribd. I can still listen to audiobooks. I can still read books, but it just seems to be struggling with Fence. So I don't know. However, I decided really last minute that I was going to try Ash Princess and use that as my book with a white cover, because I figured that there was no way I was going to be getting through Elantris in the space of 4 days. So I'm actually on page 192 at the moment. I'm flying through this. It's such an easy read. Really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I like how fast paced it is, and I know some people have been saying that they get quite bored in the middle. I'm still waiting for that to happen. I'm still really enjoying it. So yeah, I don't know, each to their own. Now we need to talk about House of Earth and Blood. I can't talk about House of Earth and Blood because I might cry. So last night I finished House of Earth and Blood, and at 1 AM was absolutely ugly crying because of this book. I thought that I would like it because, as I said, I have really enjoyed Court Thorns and Roses trilogy. I do enjoy Sarah J Maas's writing, so I did think that I was going to enjoy this book. However, I completely underestimated how much I was going to enjoy this book, and I genuinely cannot wait for the sequel to come out. I am just amazed by the fact that it is the debut novel into adult fantasy, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, I know that there are people who are, it's very hit and miss. People have either really loved it or people haven't enjoyed it at all. I am on the really loved it. I just, yeah, I haven't, I've cried a little bit at certain books, but this had me sobbing, and I haven't sobbed at a book since The Places I Cried in Public. There was a scene where it was like watching, the way it was described, it was like I was watching it happen. Everything building up. It hit me really hard. It was something I didn't even expect to happen. I didn't think I was so invested in this particular character, and yeah, I clearly was, but it hit me really hard. So I was just ugly crying by the end of this, and yeah, I absolutely adored it. So this was perfect. This is definitely a 5-star read for me, and I'm hating the idea that we're probably going to have to wait like 2 years for the next one to come out. But yes, so thoroughly enjoying that. So I do technically only have Ash Princess left to read for my owls. I read How to Tell If Your Cat Is Plotting to Kill You. I read that over the space of a couple of nights just because I was picking it up and going through bit by bit. It is incredibly funny, but also incredibly relatable. Like, there are times where I am now finding myself sitting there and looking at my cat thinking, oh, you're gonna take over the world. You're after me. So yeah, it's set my paranoia off completely with my cat. But overall, it is incredibly funny. The drawings are brilliant, and it is just, yeah, it's definitely relatable. If you own a cat, yeah, you get everything that happens. Like, they own you, you don't own them. So yeah, so I have just got Ash Princess as my book with white cover to finish, and then that is my owls 12 books done, and then the extra one of Dark and Deepest Red. Because I wanted an audio book as well, I have started Shadow of the Fox, but obviously I'm not too worried about finishing that straight away. I'm doing it as an audio book, one because I like to have an audio book and a physical book going at the same time. But I can't remember whether I mentioned the physical book of Shadow of the Fox that I own is, it's broken. Like, I haven't got super glue at the moment to try and fix it, but the pages will fall out if I try and physically read it, so I thought that I would do it this way. So I actually have 12 hours left of the audio book. So yeah, again, enjoying that one, but I feel like it's a little bit of a slow burner at the moment. Sort of just finding your feet, finding characters, who they are, who's who's related to who, and things like that, and it's just nice and easy listening. There's nothing that I have to pay masses of attention to at the moment. So yeah, I am very pleased with that. I am unsure as to whether I'm going to get, I mean, I've worked out that if I read 100 pages tonight and 100 pages tomorrow, I could do it. It would need to be a bit more than 100 pages. I think it's something like 120 pages tonight and 120 pages tomorrow, and I will be on track. I will finish Ash Princess, and I will finish all of my owls, and then it will all be over. And I feel quite sad. I feel relieved because the pressure of finding a white cover in replacement of Elantris, the stress was just ridiculous. And who knew that I don't own as many books as I thought I did with birds on, or some sort of animal with a beak. But yes, so I am going to get cracking with some filming and editing, and then possibly whilst I'm editing I will be listening to an audiobook whilst on the go. I will check in with you a bit later and give you an update on Ash Princess and Shadow of the Fox, hopefully. Hi, it is the 30th of April and it is the end of the O.W.L.s. I feel like it's quite a sad thing coming to an end. I really had quite a lot of fun this time round. I think it was because I was vlogging it and I was speaking to a lot of people who were taking part this year. Last year I sort of did it on my own. I don't think I was as involved in the book community as I am now, so I didn't really know people taking part, but I've done it and I finished Ash Princess last night. I'm really sad. I thoroughly enjoyed Ash Princess. I gave it 4 stars. I genuinely enjoyed everything about the book. There were some bits which I thought were a little bit, not graphic, but just a bit too much for me at times. But because of it being part of the plot line, it didn't feel like it was unnecessary, which does sort of help. I often find that triggers are a lot worse when they don't seem to have a purpose in the actual plot line, but this worked really well. I do know that a few people have slated this book and have said that it gets really boring. I know that some people have also said that it's a case of they didn't love it but they didn't hate it. But I really enjoyed this book and I'm so glad I picked it up, and I can't wait to continue the trilogy. I am probably going to have a hunt on eBay to see whether I can pick up the second one cheap. I'm not going to rush to read the second one. That's not because I don't want to read it, that's more so because I have already got so many books to read at the moment. I'm not even going to bother doing a book haul video at the moment because I've lost track. Isolation has, I think it's brought out the kindness in everybody, and being part of a Twitter thread and an Instagram group where we are literally sharing wish lists and gifting each other books, I've just been inundated with books, and yeah, I'm not going to do it. But if you've kept up to date with my vlogs, then you'll know what's been coming and going. I have also managed to unhaul a fair amount of books and send them out to people out of the Bookstagram group that I'm in. So it's been really nice to know that the books that I don't necessarily want to keep or won't read again are going to a good home. It's always nice to know that. I have got to edit and try and work out whether I can sort of decide on a theme for my Bookstagram again. I don't want to change it yet, but I do want to change it for summer.
and I just want to try out some different props. I got my background the other day and it's not great on its own, but with other bits and pieces on it, it might be. So I'm going to give that a go. I did, although I'm not counting it towards obviously April's reads because the majority will be read in May, I have started Shadow of the Fox and I am on chapter 7, which is page 104. Again, I'm listening to this via Audible because I really don't want to even put in the bookmark in. I've been so careful because I don't want the book to fall apart. I really don't. I'm so concerned. But how nice does this bookmark tassel look with the book? I feel like it's really oriental. I love it. So I have started this just to give me a bit of a head start on the trilogy, because yeah, I've got a lot to read in May again. I have well, it looks like a small stack compared to this month, but once I add in the Kindle books that I will be reading to review and things like that, just gonna have so much. I don't even know how to, yeah, so much to read. However, I know that the audiobooks for Shadow of the Fox and Soul of the Sword are 14 hours, and because I listen to them at twice the speed, that's around 7 hours each, and I should be able to get through that within the space of a week, listening to them throughout the day on and off. I've gone sleepy. I went really cold, so I climbed under the duvet, and now I've gone tired and I want to nap. So we'll see how that goes. But I am going to end this vlog here because other than listening to Shadow of the Fox now, I don't think I'm going to do anything else to update you with. I would like to send a huge thank you to G at Book Roast for hosting the O.W.L.s. I've really enjoyed it this year, and I really look forward to doing the Newts in August. So yeah, I hope you've had a good week and a good weekend and a good start to this week. Things will not be resumed as normal because of the Believeathon. So I'm going to sit down and work out a plan of how to separate the vlogs up so that everybody is on the same path with the Believeathon. I think it does start a clean cut week, but like I said, I'm going to set out a plan. So I hope you're safe, I hope you're happy, and I hope you're well, and I will see you next time. Bye!